Qantas shareholders have come face to face with the man they say is driving the airline into the ground. Chief Executive Alan Joyce was confronted over his plans to set up an airline in Asia and the company's treatment of workers. But by the end of the annual general meeting, Mr Joyce still walked away with a pay rise of around $2 million. Unions are furious about it and they're once again threatening to step up industrial action. Carly Simmons reports.
This was the showdown unions and shareholders had been waiting for, a chance to give Qantas CEO Alan Joyce a piece of their mind.
The workers aren't getting proper salaries and wages and conditions. They're being strangled, they're being bulldozed, they're being knocked over. There's blood on the floor, on the streets.
All executive payments, no matter whether it be Qantas or any other organisation, are excessive.
I'm angry, they're angry about the current Qantas management and its plans for sending Australian jobs, good Qantas jobs, offshore.
Security was tight in the wake of death threats against the CEO, but there was no need for alarm. With this, the biggest crowd protesters could muster.
Stop the cuts, save the jobs, end corporate greed.
The union went into the meeting fighting. At the same time, baggage handlers and ground crews walked off the job for an hour at major airports.
Well, Alan Joyce has made a decision to take on his Australian workforce whilst he pays himself a 71% wage increase.
Not so, says the board. Mr Joyce only gets the money if he meets certain benchmarks. The chief executive fired back at the unions, saying their action has cost the airline $68 million, with the uncertainty driving customers away.
The situation is now very serious and it is unsustainable. 70,000 customers have been affected, over 600 flights have been cancelled, 7 aircraft have been grounded.
Fearing a major tourism backlash, some state premiers called on the Prime Minister to intervene, but Julia Gillard is so far reluctant.
I believe Australians expect the parties to this dispute to get it resolved and get it fixed.
But there's no sign of that in the foreseeable future after 4 directors were re-elected to the board and the pay rises all went through.
Shows that overwhelming support from the shareholders that we have. I think that shows that they're fully behind management, fully behind the board. That's what we always thought was going to be the case.
Shareholders and the unions walked out after the decision, angry they couldn't stop it.
For Mr Joyce's wages, where I'm sorry they've got through, I'm very sorry.
Do you think they were listening to you, the board members?
No, I don't.
In a way, they are dictators. It's a board of dictators, says Jack Tilburn, not a board of directors.
The opportunity to fly on a real Qantas aeroplane will diminish at an ever-exponential rate. The airline is going to basically cease to exist in its current form.
For now, it's the flying public that are most affected in this dispute, with further disruptions inevitable. The union suggesting it could last for 12 months. Kylie Simmons, Lateline.